Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy April Fool's Day as well. I haven't seen like too many April Fool's jokes today, but um, no April Fool's jokes here with this video. It just happens to fall on April 1st. I've been doing these live videos for the past few weeks, like usually every other week, and sharing a little bit more about different things that I'm doing in my own business or things that I am working on with my clients, whether it is marketing related or like growing a solo practice related. And I wanted to share this because this is something that has been helping, like it's been helping me out for quite some time, but this is something that is helping my coaching clients as well. And so I wanted to share this with you and share like a little bit more, like right before I'm about to like do my monthly money meeting. I almost typed like Morgan Meese's monthly money meeting. And that would be a lot. So it's just a monthly money meeting. And so I'll tell you a little bit about that. And then I will also show you the checklist that I put together. And this is the way that I do kind of like my business and personal finances every month. So if you are here with me live, please say hi, comment below, and let me know that you can hear me okay. And if you are catching it on the replay, go ahead and comment replay. But the first question, I guess, that I have for you, you who's watching, is if you don't mind sharing, we don't have to put numbers up right now, but like, what does your use a GIF to describe how you feel about managing your money in your business. I think that would be really fun to see how everybody's feeling about it, and I'll drop my GIF as well. But yeah, feel free to comment below with just information on how you do your business finances, and that's kind of what we'll focus on today. When it comes to doing my monthly finances for myself, it usually includes like all my business finances first, and then I go into my personal finances. In this video, we're not going to talk personal finances, just the stuff that I have been doing on a monthly basis to keep things moving along financially in my business. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, so first kind of thing, like what I learned about handling money as a business owner, a lot of it comes from the book Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. And it seems to be one of the top like money management books that there is in entrepreneurship. So if you haven't read that yet, or maybe even like look up a summary on YouTube, highly recommend it. It is very dense. So, at least for me, so fair warning on that. But it really, for those of you who feel like you really need like a step-by-step list, I felt like it does a really good job doing that, and giving you some background on how to handle your new job and how to pay yourself. And that's one thing that a lot of like first-time business owners, first-time practice owners who are newer, one of our biggest questions is always like, now that I've made money, what do I do with it? And Profit First does a good job giving you a structure. And I've taken that and I have, adjusted it to like my own needs. And I'm sure like this time next year, it will also look different. So if you are somebody who really wants to have like a 100% structured list that just like never changes, if you can, maybe try to pull away from that a little bit, and give yourself space to continue to grow and evolve and learn more about how to manage your money. So I was right about to do this for myself, for my own business this afternoon. It usually, with both like business and personal finances, it usually takes me about like 2 hours, I would say, on average, to get through all of this. And a big part of it is because I work with different contractors. So I am going through and making sure that I'm paying everybody the appropriate amount that our work agreement says. And I like to triple check that. So, if it's just you, it would probably take closer to an hour, I would guess. But if you are somebody who has like a monthly money routine, please leave a comment for everybody else who is somewhat new to this, and tell us a little bit more about what you do on a monthly basis, and how long it takes you. Because I feel like that's good to know just for scheduling purposes. Okay. So I think those are the like major details. Just to start off with, is I do my monthly money meeting on the first day of every month. And if for some reason I can't do it on the first day of every month, I rearrange my schedule and try to find somewhere to put it so it's around the first day of the month. And I used to do this money meeting twice a month, which is what the book Profit first suggests, but it did get like a little bit complicated. And so while I understand getting paid 2 times a month, it feels good, like that's what a lot of us are used to. Since I moved to just the 1 time a month on the first day of the month, it's been a lot simpler, which is nice. So, we're all looking for simplicity. Okay. And let's go ahead and jump into this. I want to show you this checklist that I have. And if you have questions as I'm going through this, please let me know. And we can definitely talk about it. Okay. So this is the list of like what I'm literally going to do in probably like 10 minutes. And this is a list of all of my like monthly financial routine stuff for the business. And then I have another list for personal stuff. And the first thing that I want to point out, and like the major thing that I've been working on with a few of my clients, is creating standard operating procedures. And the reason that that is so important, and why I really believe that they can help you run a much more efficient business, even if you are like a solo business owner, is because you get like all of the like big thinking done at one point, and then you can just take action the rest of the time. So like if I had to sit down on the first day of every month and remember what I needed to do every month, especially with a list that's like medium size for me, at least as far as to-do lists go, it would just be a nightmare. Like it would be so stressful. And I don't believe that like taking care of your business finances should be stressful. I look forward to it every month, of course, because it's really fun to pay yourself. But at the very least, it should be like pretty indifferent, and I do know that a lot of practice owners tend to not pay themselves for a certain period of time. And while I can understand doing that, maybe like the first couple of months that you are in your own business, it is really best, in my opinion, to start paying yourself as soon as possible. I feel like when you are able to like exchange money with yourself, pay yourself as a business owner, it starts to shift things and give it a different perspective, so that you are able to take your business as seriously as you do a full-time job, rather than like, just like the kind of like back burner side hustle. Which of course, like if that's what this is for you, that's totally fine. But if you are somebody who is wanting to do like a full-time business, you need to treat it like that. So I would recommend starting to pay yourself as soon as possible. And anyway, so like back to what I was saying, if you can write all the steps down for a specific like task, project, routine that you do on a regular basis, it has really helped to like decrease stress that I have around this kind of stuff. Because like I said, I do all my like big thinking and decision making at one time, like when I made this checklist. And then, every like first of the month, I just open the checklist and follow it from like the top part all the way down to the bottom. And then once everything is checked off, I know that everything is done and we're good to go. Um, so getting into the checklist here, the first one is like essentially open up your budget. And I have like everything here is basically like open everything that you need and like, buckle in and get ready to complete your monthly money meeting. So I use a budgeting tool called You Need a Budget, which I absolutely love. I've been using it since I think maybe since freshman or sophomore year of college to do all of my personal budgeting. I really like this software, and it is a paid software. I want to say the cost is like, I think it recently went up, and I want to say it costs like maybe $100 a year. And they do have student discounts, at least as far as the last time I looked at it. Uh, and I think they might have other discounts for other reasons as well. But it integrates with your bank accounts. And so everything is pretty well automated. So when I go to open up this budget, again, it's another thing that I set up one time and that took some time, but now like every first of the month, it's not that big of a deal. So steps 1 through 4, I would say, are open up your budget, your business budget. Open up, if you use QuickBooks or some kind of like bookkeeping or expense recording software and income recording software, review or open up whatever that is. I use QuickBooks Self-Employed. I open my business banking accounts, and then I open up my spreadsheet that I use to track like how much money I brought in the past month, and then according to Profit First metrics and suggestions, what my dispersal amounts need to be for each of the accounts that I am using in my business. And I'm not going to talk about it too much in this video, but there's more information on why to have multiple different bank accounts in Profit First. And I know a lot of people that I've talked to at least have like 1 to 3 different bank accounts. And there are also practice owners I talk to who only have the one. It's not like a like life or death situation when you're first opening. But that book, Profit First, really explains well, like why having multiple accounts can be really helpful. And lots of people, like personally, also have a bunch of different accounts. So anyway, we won't get too much into that right now, but if you have any questions on it, please let me know. So the first few steps here, first 4 steps are just like get everything ready, pull everything up that you need. And if you have access to a second screen, that really helps me a lot. And just like transferring information back and forth between like the different softwares, but it's not 100% necessary, especially because it's only like a 1-month thing. But definitely if you're able to like view 2 things at one time, 2 windows, that helps. And then once I have everything open, I review my business budget in YNAB to see where I'm at for this month, and I take a look at last month. And I also go through my expense list typically once a month or maybe every other month and see if there are any subscriptions or softwares or like other things that I am currently paying for that I don't really use anymore. And I've also been working on switching over a lot of like the monthly subscriptions I have to annual, which like typically it doesn't save you a ton of money. But it's also like kind of nice to only see it come out once a year. And then, maybe you're able to get a little bit more cash flow going. But when I've looked at like the difference, it's not usually like super substantial between monthly subscriptions and annual. Typically you'll get like 2 months free. But anyway, that's up to you on what you want to do. But that's been something that I've been working on to continue to decrease my business expenses month to month, which is great because then we have more cash in our accounts. So taking a look at the budget, And then, according to the profit first method, I transfer all of the funds that are in like my income account, where like all the money from Square, Stripe, PayPal, like all the money from those like dumps into this income bucket account. It's just a regular checking account. And from that checking account, I disperse a certain percentage of like that income account money into operating expenses, taxes, owner's pay, and what I'm kind of calling more like business savings. Um, and one thing that I learned from one of my old business coaches that I'm also working on right now is to work on my personal savings account. So, uh, let's see. Um, Building up enough savings in my personal savings account for 3 months of personal expenses. And then after that, then I could start to focus on putting savings in the business. Because as again, like as a solo LLC business, I want to make sure that like I personally am taken care of before I like continue to just leave money in the business accounts. And so that kind of relates back to what I was talking about before, where sometimes new business owners won't pay themselves for a really long time. And, like that's fine, but it also, like, you got into this, like, starting and growing a business to make money, and you need to be paid for the work that you're doing so that, like, you're not constantly, like, scrambling, or continuing to feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck. So I think that'd probably be a topic for another day. But basically, like all the money from the different processors goes into this account. And then I transfer them into 4 different accounts. And the profit first percentages, which you should be able to find a video in here in this group on this in the guide section, I think under finance, about how to do this. But the percentages that are talked about in profit first are dispersing 50% of your monthly revenue into owner's pay, 30% into operating expenses, 15% into taxes, and then 5% into savings. But of course, like you are totally allowed to change them. For many of us in this group who, like I work out of my garage or online, or there are a lot of mobile therapists here too. We don't really have like a ton of overhead. We're not renting a building, we're not paying a mortgage on a building. And so sometimes you can kind of get away with doing a little bit less into operating expenses because you don't have that many. And so like that money could go to paying yourself more. It could go into taxes. It could go into savings, but don't just put those percentages just because, you could start off with them and then just kind of see how your business tracks over time and adjust the percentages as you see fit. So, first part is opening up everything that I need. Second part is reviewing the budget and dispersing funds. I also, then next like comes paying any contractors. So I'll pay any affiliates that we have on our courses. If you want more information on how to be an affiliate for one of our courses, let me know. And then I check into like how many appointments Kyle has had. And then like we have a separate work agreement on how much I pay him for the appointments that he's done for physical therapy. But I check to see how many appointments he's done and I pay him for that. And also like pay out any like affiliate commissions or payment to Kyle for his acute care course that we sell. So I do that. And then I also pay my virtual assistant. I pay my web developer. I pay my assistant coach. And basically just like double check that I'm paying everybody that I need to. And then I also will pay my bills from the operating expense account. And then lastly is to send myself money. So, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty straightforward routine. And I'm sure that, whoever is watching this, I'm sure that you have a little bit of a different way of doing it. But I'd love to hear down below in the comments if you have any questions. If you do something differently than I do, what you do, I think that would be really helpful to hear, how everybody else kind of like keeps track of their business income. Um, and I wanted to share this because I mentioned that I've been working on doing standard operating procedures with a lot of my business coaching clients, and this would be one of them. So you'd have a standard operating procedure for how to do your monthly money meeting and your business. Um, and just have all the steps down. If you want to, you can include like screen recordings on the SOPs. And overall, this really makes things a lot easier. So then, like with where I am right now, I can schedule it into my calendar, like when I'll have 2 hours to work on this. And then that way I know that I'm getting paid every month. And I think that having that routine also helps to make things like a little bit less scary when you're new to this kind of thing. So, anyways, I just wanted to share that. I hope this was helpful. Again, if you're catching this on the replay, comment replay. And I still have a couple of spots open for the DPT to CEO coaching program. We're doing a one-on-one and kind of like pure group coaching hybrid where it's really small groups. It's like 2 to 4 people, which is really nice. I think it's a like good compromise between one-on-one and group coaching. And yeah, there are a couple of spots left open. I'm looking to fill them by April 15th, so that we can get started, and start a task list for like starting, growing, building your practice before I'm going to be away for about a week and a half at the end of April for my wedding and my honeymoon. So just looking to get a couple more people into the program. If like you're somebody who's looking for coaching and looking for like, again, kind of like very much of like a roadmap. So like if that's something that would really help you, just knowing like what's next, and doing like a checklist. That's basically how I built the program. And if that's something that resonates with you, feel free to let me know and shoot me a message, and we can talk about whether the program would be a good fit or not. But yeah, okay. Well, with that, I hope you have a good rest of your day, a good weekend. Any questions, let me know. And then, yeah, we'll move on from there. So I will talk to you soon. And yeah, hope you have a good day.